Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elliott. With me is Nikki. And
Hey.
tonight we're covering something that, oh man, like lots of people on the show have been wanting us to cover from the very beginning, and that is The Others, the supernatural horror film released in 2001 starring Nicole Kidman. And I do remember this movie fondly from childhood.
Hey
Yeah.
guys.
Hey, Thomas. How's it going, Leon? Thanks for tuning in. Doing great, man. Yeah, just had a nice dinner. Baked rigatoni. So yeah, it's a good evening.
Yum.
Yep, good to see that you made it, Santi. Yeah, I just enjoy cooking at home. Yeah, it's I know. I mean, yeah, yeah, sure. A lot of us Americans, Nikki, like to go out for fast food, but me, I enjoy in just cooking at home just as much.
Yeah, yeah. I can't
Yeah.
cook. Nope,
Uh,
I can't cook.
hey, you never know unless you try. Yeah. I mean, I was
Exactly.
forced to because having my own place, I gotta.
Yeah.
But got to
Sounds good.
surprise you. Down 2001 is the year. Oh, were you Santi? Nice, 2001. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I was 9 years old at the time, and even back then, and even before that, I was still crazy about horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the others has had a lot going for it. It had a very amazing cast. It had great cinematography and also an amazing a plot twist that blows my mind. I think it's right up there with The Sixth Sense.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen
Yeah.
it, so but yeah, it'll be on
Oh,
my bucket
yeah.
list of movies to watch. It's all good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely make sure you put it on the list, Nikki, because there's plenty of good reasons to watch it. It has a good build up, good suspense, and, yeah, some very chilling moments. Yeah, the film takes place in 1945, like the end of World War II, where a woman named Grace, played by Nicole Kidman, is isolated inside of a mansion over in. I'm trying to figure out what the island was called. In the one of the, an island off the coast, like around England, and
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and she's living with her two children who are photosensitive. Apparently, they have this condition where they can't go into sunlight, or else they, unless or else they could die from it. They'll have like sores and basically it's toxic to them. So I'm thinking, are these
Okay.
kids vampires or something? But I looked it up, and apparently it is a real condition. It's just only a handful of people have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Nick's just joining us on his own time, even though he is my co-host.
He'll be here
Yeah.
eventually, but that's
Hey,
okay.
Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Be on soon. Oh, great, Kate. Yeah, looking forward to having you on. Yeah, and so they are just living in this house, so where they have to have these curtains on every single window, like so the kids don't get exposed to light, and they basically just use, can they have no electricity? They just have to use candle lights at nighttime, and
Wow, this is
then. Mhm. And so then they started they as some strange things starts occurring around the house, such as noises, and they're seeing spirits. They believe that the house is haunted. So yeah,
wow.
definitely consider this to be one of the greatest modern paranormal films.
Definitely sounds like a really good movie to watch.
Oh,
Hey,
it is
Thomas.
definitely. Hey, Thomas, playing Mortal Kombat One as T1000. Oh yes, yeah, I just got that game as well. Yeah, T1000. He's great. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, Nicole Kidman. I believe at this time she was. I think this is back when she was still married to Tom Cruise. Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
I know that in the '90s and early 2000s, but she's not married. They're not married anymore. I believe that she's currently married to Keith. What was his name? Keith
Keith
Urban,
Urban.
the musician. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah. So, and this film. Oh man, like the one thing that I always remember is the advertising, the commercials that they put out there, which included arguably the most chilling moment of the entire film. Here, let me pull it up, the trailer, just to give you an
Yeah.
idea. 2001 trailer. There it is. Oh, here, the classic trailer, and of course, this was made by Miramax,
Okay.
Weinstein's company. Yeah, Miramax and the Weinsteins. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all aware of the controversy. of them. But yeah, let's not get into that. Anyway, so here's what. Wait, this thing keeps pausing and unpausing like crazy. All right, here let me airdrop this. Oh, here, what's this? Back in New Jersey, like once in a
Yeah,
while, I've been receiving. Oh, yeah, we don't call those Amber Alerts, Sandy. They're just weather alerts. Yeah, Amber Alert means missing child, or
yeah.
sorry, child abducted. That's something completely different.
That's what we have over here as well. Yep. And Bullet's missing child.
All right, then let's here. Let me just share the screen. I hate the way they have to do this. They always take me to that window, and then I have to go back to here. And here, add the
Yeah.
scene. Okay, here we go.
I love technology.
Sometimes the world of the dead gets mixed up with the world of the living.
As you can see, the housework has been rather neglected since the servants disappeared almost a week ago.
Do you mean they just vanished?
Into thin air.
How do you do, children? I'm your new nanny.
Are you going to leave us too?
Why should I leave you?
The others said they wouldn't, but they did, and then it happened. Why have you opened the curtains? It was Victor.
You told your brother that there was someone else in the room.
There was.
That'll do, Anne.
I've seen them too. Sooner or later, she'll see them. Then everything will be different.
What do you want?
They're everywhere. They say this house is theirs.
Children!
Come here!
Run!
Can't you hear it? There's someone there.
Where is my daughter?
Are you mad? I am your daughter.
Yeah, even when I was 9 years old, ever since I was nine, I always remember that scene where
Yeah.
she's like in her communion dress, and like, and then one of the mother leaves the room and then comes back in, finds that it's not her daughter in that communion dress playing with a puppet on the floor. It's an older woman who has the same voice. Or, oh, hang on, we just removed the whole share screen setting.
Still
Could
good.
never figure out how to here. Let me just go back. Let me check out the live stream, make sure it's removed. Otherwise, there. Yeah, because I've been having problems with this when sharing a screen here.
Yeah.
There.
I
Oh,
have
it's
the
gone.
same issue.
Okay, it's gone. Perfect. Okay, blank video again. Okay, now you're back. Okay.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with this. Like every time I like I share a screen, it sometimes like creates a blank screen when I'm done with it. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, how's it going, Jeremy?
No, that definitely looks like a movie that I'll be interested in.
Yep. What the hell? Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking when I first saw that trailer when I was when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Thomas. Yeah, like an old woman talking in a little girl's voice. I'm just like, oh my god.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that is creepy.
Yeah. Just a tad. Was it actually made on a set or was it made in an actual
I
house?
believe it
Do you
was made
know?
inside of an actual house. Let me, I never really did look into where it was filmed. Here, let me. I'm surprised I didn't do that. Here, let me look it up right now. It was 2001 filming locations.
Because it actually reminds me of a
Yeah.
place that I've investigated, like the
Oh,
stairs and stuff.
oh, you're right. Ah, I might have guessed northern Spain because this is a Spanish film and the director is himself Spanish. Let's see. Let's see. It was filmed in Cantabria, northern Spain, and let's see, Madrid.
Oh wow. Hey
Some
Kate.
scenes were shot in. Let's, oh, okay. So Cantabria served as the exterior of the mansion. Okay. Yeah, some movies do that where they don't film like completely the mansion like the same location as like the exterior and interior. Sometimes they oh here it is on. Hang on. Sorry, Kate, didn't see you.
No worries.
Hey.
How are you guys?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Apologies for being late. I was listening. I have so much to add. So this is my ultimate favorite film. Like what? Well, one of my favorite films. I absolutely love the others. It's what really got me into the paranormal, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I love it. I was 11 when I saw it first. It was 2001, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
So I was 11 when it came out, and I just loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it too. It's like the trailer alone had me sold. I'm like, I got to see this movie.
I actually never saw the trailer. So in 2001, my parents still had the video store with their, because we had like a general grocery store. So
Right?
it was the shop below, and we lived above in the flat. And
Oh,
I remember when it was released, because my dad's really into the paranormal and all that kind of movies, sci-fi and all that stuff. And he was like, "Oh, this just came out, Kate. Like, I don't think it's too scary. Like, if you, I think it was like a 12. Was it rated 12?" And he was like, "Do you want to watch
um,
it?" And I was like, "Okay." So yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, I thought you were asking me if it was rated 12. I believe it was because yeah, like again,
yeah,
our rating system is different from yours. Yeah, like what we have
Yeah,
PG
12.
13, you have rated 12. So I believe
yeah.
if it's PG 13 here, then it is rated 12 in the UK.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Hi, Santi. Hi, everyone. Um, but yeah, I just loved it the first time we watched it. I think I've watched it about 20 times. So yeah,
After we get
Yes.
off this, I'm gonna be watching that.
it's so
Oh, I recommend it. Highly
good.
recommend it. And look who's here. Hey, Nick.
Hi,
What's up?
Nick.
Hello, Nicholas Muley.
Hey, Nikki. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's
Good
so good
thing.
to see you, Nikki.
I'm back.
Yay.
I was going to get back to you. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you sooner, but I did get your message though. I listened to it.
It's all good.
Hi, Thomas. Yeah,
Yeah, one Jeremy makes a real good point that the others was extremely well made and gave the viewers like a view of the other side, and I
yeah,
don't believe any other movie ever explored. Yeah, it really explores like the whole afterlife aspect,
yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
I love
unknown.
it. I absolutely love it because when you watch it once, you see it from one viewpoint, don't you? That you
Mhm.
think the house is haunted and the story, and then the kids always talk about when went mad or when mummy went crazy, and you're like, oh, what happened? Like, there's obviously like a backstory and stuff. And when the husband comes back from the front line, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle. And when you put all the pieces together, that's when you get the bombshell of the ending. And you're
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh. And you have to watch it again so that you
I
can
know.
see it from the other viewpoint. And I just think it's so clever. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a film like that since, where it's
Yeah,
just so cleverly put together, like the whole story, the storyline, the directing,
you're right
the
there.
scenes. Yeah, so
hey,
good.
hey, Nick, you just got here, man. What the heck?
I
I'm
think
gonna
he's turned the lights off.
stop the flashing.
Oh yeah, I was
Mhm.
Yeah.
about to say. Yeah, I keep telling you, stop the flashing lights. You're gonna give somebody a seizure out there.
What do you
Yeah, I
think
think he
I'm
just
doing?
remembered that I can have seizures.
Yeah,
So
or is he actually trying to give somebody a seizure?
No. Oh, hi, Chris.
that's
Yeah,
better.
Chris
Thank
is
you.
in the
Yeah,
chat.
it's all part of his master plan. He's trying to like have the flashing lights.
Yo, Chris. Yo,
Yeah,
yo, yo. And Jeremy.
yes, that's true, Jeremy. It does make you want to
Yeah.
watch it more than twice in my book. You know, because it's like so chilling. You want to experience it again and again.
Yeah. Even that first scene where the servants arrive and, it's kind of eerie about the servants arriving. And it's like, oh, well, she was looking for somebody to work there. And then you kind of realize when it all unfolds about the servants, and they actually lived there before and they died there, and then it's like, oh my gosh. And then when you watch it again and you see when the servants arrive, it's like, oh damn, like that makes sense, like they
Yeah,
were always there. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just love movies like that where it introduces you things that you seem kind of strange at first, but then makes sense like
yeah,
by the time you're done with the movie. Like,
totally. And the fog, that's how it is now, because they
Yeah.
can't leave the house or the grounds. That's just how it's going to be. And
mhm.
yeah, I just think it was so, so clever. And also, I feel like the mother was absolutely devastated about her breakdown and what happened and how she could do that to her kids. And I feel like there's such a strong link with religion, Catholicism,
Oh yeah,
and how
so
she kind of feels like she was giving a second chance. So the afterlife is her second chance to be a family again. And also that was kind of horrendous, but also nice, comforting that, they're all together and living happily, I guess.
See,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
see just,
yeah,
just the
it
way
does have
how
that.
they're just the way how they're basically confined to this house, to this mansion.
Yeah.
And it's not even just a certain aspect of the afterlife for them. It's almost like you just said, Kate. They just can't leave. Oh, I thought I. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and fix these in a second. But
It's okay.
sorry. What I was
It's
gonna
okay.
say,
It's good.
it's the mansion and the setting. Basically, it's kind of like a purgatory for 'em.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
you could tell that they are in a way lost souls that have not
Yeah.
really made
They
it to the
haven't crossed
top.
over.
They haven't
Yeah.
crossed
Yeah.
over. So the mansion, I think I see not only just a former location of where they lived when they were actually alive, but more importantly, yeah, I think it's kind of a purgatory for them.
It is because that's
It,
brought up a lot in their conversations about purgatory, about their faith, religion. All of that is a really strong theme in the film, isn't it? So yeah,
Right. Here, I'll be right back. I'm going to try this again.
yeah, definitely.
purgatory. Yeah,
Yeah,
And
and but yeah, we're kind of spoiling the hell out of this movie for Nikki. She hasn't seen it.
it's all
Oh,
right.
she hasn't,
It's so good.
she hasn't seen it yet? Oh, damn.
It's so
Yeah,
good because it kind of
it's
makes me
okay.
see it in a different way. So it's good. Keep
Okay,
going.
yeah. I mean, I hate doing that. I hate spoiling. I hate spoiling good movies for people. You know.
yeah. But honestly,
It's
like
okay.
we have to talk about it, otherwise, like how
Yeah.
you can't talk about it then because it's going to spoil it.
Right.
But yeah, you just
Yeah.
It's all
yeah,
good.
it's good. And also the kids were so good in this movie. Like, I don't know if they're
They
still
were.
acting, but they were amazing in this film.
They
Guys,
they
I
Yeah.
really
just
were.
I
Especially.
decided to look something up about this movie, and I don't know if you guys have heard. Unfortunately, it sounds like this happened 5 years ago. In April of 2020, they were going to make a remake of the others, which uh, there was already
No.
they said the
Yeah.
company planning to revamp the film by unlike the original one, which is set in the 1940s. Obviously, you can clearly see it's taking place
Yeah.
near
World
the
War
end.
Two.
Yeah, during World War II. Instead, this time it's supposed to be setting it in the present day, and
No.
oh man, I can already see it's not going to be good.
It
I
doesn't need
hate
to be remade. It's a classic. Just
yeah,
leave it
really.
alone.
Exactly.
I was going to say I hate it when they remake it, especially if they're going to
Mm,
like switch the time era to it.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
Hmm.
and
perfect.
yeah, it's like there are some times where remakes do work and times where they don't. Like it depends
Mm,
on like what can be improved on. Like when you take a look at say for example, let's see. Oh, Night of the Living Dead, an all-time classic, right? Well, it's like yes, it is a great movie, but there were some things that could have been improved on. Like this for instance, the zombie makeup, the remake
Okay.
in 1990 improved on that significantly. Seriously, like they actually
Mhm.
look like walking corpses in this.
Yeah, they do.
mm,
And
And and
Said
also
Jeremy just said present day wouldn't work. I agree. It would not.
no,
It definitely would.
it wouldn't. No. Because of the time it was set as well, there wasn't really much known about paranormal and,
Back in
all of this
19
stuff.
well, as you guys know, I mean, I have this whole list on my phone of our what I call our paranormal ancestors, and I can tell you right now, in 1945, there definitely wasn't very much. There were a few of them, but
Yeah.
nowhere compared to like how many there are of us today. I mean, in fact, the only
Mm,
group that I would have known that would have existed even back then would have been well, the oldest paranormal group that's still in existence to this day from the UK, the Ghost Club. But even
yeah.
then, there wasn't very much about them. And this was even still a few years
Mhm.
before, like Ed and Lorraine Warren had met and they formed the Society for Psychical Research. That wasn't created until the early 1950s.
Yeah. Because even in the movie, when there's the old woman and she's sort of a medium, isn't she? And she does
Yeah.
the seance with the family and stuff.
Yeah.
After they did that, they wanted to leave immediately because that's how it was back then, wasn't it? If there was anything untoward in your house like that, then of course you would want to leave. Because,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
that's just the feeling that it was back then. The only thing I don't get is when the husband comes back to see his
Mhm.
wife and his kids, did he see his kids or was it just the wife?
He did.
He
He
did
saw
see
He
the
saw
those.
kids.
his kids.
It's been a
Yeah, he
while
did
since
see the
I've
kids.
seen it, but I do remember that scene.
And
Yes, he did see his
why?
kids. They were,
Yeah, but why did he go back to the front line? Was he like summoned back or like was, I don't get, because they were obviously all in purgatory, but why is he in purgatory on the front line? Why can't he cross over? I don't
See,
know.
it's a really good. I was thinking of one aspect. I mean, this is a possibility, not saying that it's confirmed, but again, due to the fact that it is taking place during World War II, I thought, well, maybe it's possible that he may have died, you know, later, after the rest of the family may have died, whenever that was, and perhaps maybe he was killed in the war itself.
But I think she went mental because she found out that her husband had died. That's what I got from the story.
Well, it's what Jeremy said. Husband knew something was wrong the whole time. I think
So
that's
I
why he
remember
went
that.
back to the front line. Oh, and
yeah,
also, just so you guys know, Don, since you're broadcasting this on my personal page, because again, comments are not showing up, I just want to give a couple shout outs on the comments here.
Mm,
Michael Bloomfield, he shared this to American Ghost Stories. Thank you very much, Michael. Irene's watching. Hey, Irene. Mark Wahlberg from New Zealand is watching too. And also,
Hey.
Irene also had said here he came back and he saw his wife and kids. He died too, and he came back to visit everyone.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, but I don't get why he had to go back, or maybe he wanted to cross over, or yeah, I just never got that bit, like why he had to go back
Mm,
to the front
yeah.
line.
I guess that, like he was. Maybe, I guess maybe he did suspect that maybe he really is dead, and he just decided it was time to cross over. But
Yeah,
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 yeah, and
maybe.
I kind of did suspect something was up, like when that one time where Grace, Nicole Kidman's character, when she did leave the house to talk to a priest about baptizing or like or not baptizing, communion.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
that's
queen,
for her
yeah.
kid, and it never shows her meeting with him. You would expect them to like, but no, it never shows her
Mm,
except like going into a fog and then ending up back on the property.
yeah, she couldn't escape it, could
So
she? No.
Kind of like a
yeah,
force field in a way. That
Yeah,
explains why he couldn't leave the property. Again, another primary example that this was some kind of purgatory they were in.
yeah.
yeah, I suspected that was it because I mean I didn't think because I was wondering why aren't they showing her meeting with him? It just shows like that her going into the fog and then another different scene taking place with that's inside the house with the kids and then her later coming back from the fog. Like I just
Mm,
thought that's odd.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it was so well done. Like every single scene is just incredible. Like it just all fit. There's never a scene where you're bored. There never is.
Right.
It's so well told. And also like the ASMR version of it, like when she's going through the house, locking all the doors, opening the curtains, like even the sounds are like so real and you're so absorbed in it. And yeah. And then you get to the jump scares, right? With the
Oh,
curtains
Yeah,
opening. I mean,
oh yeah.
those were creepy. And the door when she's like why is the door vibrating or moving? And then it like smacks her in the face. Like that was
Right.
a
It was
really scary one.
Yeah, it was pretty much around that time when she realized something really was up with the house, that her daughter
Yeah.
was right. And
Mhm.
also, one thing
Yeah.
I noticed about the doors, some of those doors had like the handle like in the center of the door as opposed to being like on the side. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
really good.
So Irene also
Yeah,
here
like
said this was involving the husband again. She said because he was a wandering spirit, like so many soldiers did and are to this day, again, being World War II, she is in her own purgatory because she did kill her children and she is to remain there
Mm.
forever.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Pretty,
Oh, look who's
pretty
just joined.
much, yeah, because
Poor
oh,
kids though.
Chris.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Hey guys,
How
Oh,
are you?
I'm alive.
How you
hey.
feeling?
Yep. Oh,
So. I figured I'd jump on for a few.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Chris. We're so
Yeah.
glad that you're okay.
yes.
Thank you.
So glad. Yeah.
Oh, it's been a
So
long
go ahead
time.
and talk though. I'm just here.
All right. Well, yeah. Hey, keep going strong, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the two creepy spots in the movie, old woman in the white. Yes, I was commenting about that earlier, Jeremy. Like when I saw that trailer when I was a little
Yeah.
kid, and I saw that bit where the old woman was like in that communion dress and like and speaking in the same voice as Anne, I was just like, you know what? I'm sold. I got to see this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good scene. And she's
And look,
playing with
Oh
the
yeah,
puppet.
and look who
Yeah.
yes.
else
I,
tried to join us.
There's
oh,
Slinky.
the your cat,
Yep, as
Slinky. Yeah,
usual.
yeah. And
Jason.
also. And also, I will also remember how they parodied that scene in Scary Movie 3.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, where Charlie Sheen comes to the room, like, and like, where's my daughter? Are you mad? I am not your daughter. He's like, no, you're not. Then just pulls off the dress, and it's Michael Jackson underneath. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
One of the
that was
other.
back when it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go. Go, Don, go.
Yeah, well, yeah, because remember, this was during a time where everybody was making fun of the whole Michael Jackson scandal. You know, like literally everybody was poking fun at it. Everybody, Family Guy, The Simpsons, like
Yep.
all sorts of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Park. I was gonna say South Park. I know that was another. Didn't The Simpsons also do that once?
I-
I'd be surprised if
Well,
like they did that for Treehouse of Horror.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think The Simpsons really made fun of that scandal, but they did do an episode where that did focus on Michael Jackson at one point. That was like way back in the day.
Yeah,
But yeah, but yeah, again, this was a different time. You know, that's one of the jokes that not sure if it really aged that well. You know, given that the man is gone now. So
Yeah. Yeah. One of the other creepiest scenes is when she's in the attic and she finds the Book of the Dead. I
Oh,
didn't even know that was a thing in the Victorian era, but it was. Like they would do that
yeah. They
because
would take
they,
pictures of like all these dead people, like whether
yeah,
after.
because it would capture their spirit,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
it was a typical type of photography they had back in the day, where
Yeah.
you would have pictures of either people that had recently, like who had short. They would get their pictures taken right after they had passed away, or it would be taken at the funeral or wake, which is why you see, like those old timey pictures, like where you see families standing by. They're not necessarily posing for the picture. They're actually, obviously mourning over that family member that passed away.
Yeah.
Why you don't see,
Right.
of course, that explains, obviously why no one's smiling in the pictures, of course.
Yeah. Do they still do? So I don't know much about the US at all, but when you have a wake, do you still have the body in your home? Like, because
Well,
Catholics
typically
do
we.
that.
Well, it depends. Typically, like when we have wakes, we have them take place at like a church, like a funeral home. I mean, yeah, like we typically have it take place at a funeral home But there are, if it's a large enough house, like I'm talking like big house, like kind of like
Like a
mansion, like or if
mansion.
it's like a big enough room, then yeah, they
Totally.
would in some occasions, but I don't think it's done as much today.
Yeah, it's not as
Mm,
commonly practiced as it probably was 100 years ago. I think I think kind of like again that same kind of
yeah.
I'll say lack of I mean popularity. I hate to use that word, but for lack of a better term, but I
Sure.
think a lot of that pretty much ended. I would say by around the 1950s or early 60s is when you start
Mm,
line of that. So it did continue at least for a good half of the century, but nowadays
Right.
it's rare. It's rarely ever done. The only
yeah.
it's like the only time that people ever really do that nowadays is if it's like not only just at a big enough house, but more importantly, if it was also if the mansion was owned by that person of the deceased. So if
Mm,
Mhm.
actually, it would basically almost like be their last day, not only their last day living in their house before they're properly buried, but more importantly, it's also like living their still. It's like even if they're gone, this is still their home. If that makes any sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they feel like it's their home, they'll always remain there. I mean, yeah, and as far
Yeah.
as, like you said about wakes, Kate, well, every family, I mean, and each individual for that matter who died is, different. You know, each family deals
Yeah.
with that, differently, like, when it comes to, wakes. Some people, have, wakes, go like, just like a full on funeral service, and then some people just have like a
Mm,
more quiet service, and some people don't even have their bodies like buried at all. Some people like a casket. Some people are just
yeah.
cremated. You know, my grandpa Don, he was cremated, and we ended up burying. Like I don't think we really had much of a funeral service, it's just a burial. We buried his urn at
Yeah.
Beloit, where he was born and raised before he came here to Chicago. And yeah, because because that's where we've been here since Chicago, right? But and I was the one who placed his urn in at the burial.
Oh wow.
Well,
Mm,
and not only that,
And
I mean,
we
you
just
could even
we just felt it was we just felt it was fitting for his grandson Don Elmy to place him there.
yeah.
Well, not only that too. I
Yeah.
mean, you could also even, and my parents have already done this basically for all of us, which is like you even years from now, you could still plan on like for yourself in this case, like how do they want to take care of your body after you pass away?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? Or whatever the case is.
Cremated.
And most of my family, including myself, we pretty much have already had planned when our time is up that we're going to be cremated.
Mm,
Yeah.
Buy your own for me.
Yeah.
Which to me, we also think it's probably I guess to us, it's a better way for us to, you know, end our existence than still have our bodies rot, like to bone.
Yeah.
We'd rather just have it just cremated and be done with it, have it done naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
mm,
feel the same.
it's yeah. In some ways, it's different. Also, there are some people who, if they are cremated, have requests to have their ashes scattered in a certain place. Like it could be
Yes.
scattered scattered at sea. Could be scattered at some place that they loved going to. You know,
yeah.
yeah. Like I said, each person's different. Each person has their own idea
Yeah.
of how they want to be like like how should I put this? Not buried or yeah, like how
Brutalized.
their remains are dealt with.
Well, Chris, you probably know this. I know a good primary example. Well-known, famous singer John Denver. Big singer from the '70s. Who did Rocky Mountain High and Annie's Song, couple Country Roads, to name a couple examples. When he passed away over 30 years ago, in 1990, no, yeah, almost 30 years ago, in 1997, he had requested to be cremated, and then afterwards, because a lot of his music dealt with the Colorado Rockies and had a lot of nature themes to it, that
Mm,
he requested that after he was cremated, he wanted his ashes spread across the Rocky Mountains. So they just stood on a cliff, opened up the urn, and then just let the wind blow the dust away as by his wish.
Right. Yeah, memorialized. That's the word I'm
Memorial.
looking for, Joshua.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Each person has their own way that they want to be memorialized. You know, sometimes sometimes it's like something simple, like be buried in a cemetery, but sometimes it's something much more meaningful to them,
Yeah.
like having their ashes scattered
Yeah.
somewhere.
Hey guys, Nikki, I don't know if you got the
I want
message in
mine
the
scattered.
private chat. Unfortunately, Nikki does have to go in a few minutes, so I
I see.
just wanted to let
Yep.
you know.
Hmm.
I understand.
Thanks.
Nikki,
Yeah, well, hey, it was
Yeah.
great to have you on, Nikki.
it was definitely great
Thank
having you
you.
on, and
Thank you.
I'd like to give you a call at some point
Bye.
real soon.
Bye,
All right.
Nikki.
Yeah, no worries. Good to have a
All
chat
right,
with everybody. Good to see you all.
like
Take care,
Yeah,
guys.
hope to have you.
Now, how
We'll
do
have
I
you back soon. Take care.
exit? There
Yeah.
we go.
Take care, Nikki.
Take it easy. Oh, and
take care.
guys, and also who's watching from the chat, I got to say it quickly. Pickle Tom.
Oh,
Oh,
Pickle
Tom.
Tom's there.
Yeah, he's watching from my side. He said, unfortunately, he didn't come on because he never did get a chance to watch the others. So that's
Oh,
why he's
Tom, you have
Oh,
to watch it. It's so good.
got to watch
it's
it,
really
Tom.
good.
So good.
It's great.
One of
Yeah,
my
I
faves.
consider it to be one. Yes, I consider it to be one of the best haunted house movies of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. Even though
100%.
it's not unlike some other haunted house movies. I mean, I do see a partial similarity to there are oftentimes I kind of see it almost as like a sort of British version of the Amityville Horror, but the difference is, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There are not too much. I'm just saying there are some similarities to it, but for the most part, the other difference too compared to Amityville and the others is that obviously Amityville was a true story, minus some of the paranormal stuff. Now we discover not everything truly happened as you see in the movie. With the others, that was obviously just a story just made up practically, wasn't based on any true events.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I really liked about it is that it's not over the top. It's just really good storytelling. And there's a
It is.
few really good jump scares. And the ending is just really, really, it's just so good at the end. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that all makes sense. Like it just, yeah. So, because, like some haunted house movies are like so over the top and
Yeah,
there's
they are.
demons and there's all this going on. And, like you kind of get frustrated with it because you're like, this is just getting silly now. But with the others, there was none of that. It was just bare storytelling,
Right. It was
nothing over
just
the top.
It was
right. It was
going
just
back to the
completely
true
serious all the way
definition.
through.
It was
Yeah.
maybe going back to the true definition of what an actual ghost was. We're
Yeah.
not talking just like, simple monsters or, like Halloween type ghosts. We're talking about actual ghosts, people
Mhm.
who had lived and had died, and keeping up with that same term as you hear on multiple aspects of the paranormal, that half the time, mostly spirits don't even realize that they're dead.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
basically the same thing with the others, is they don't realize they're dead until the very end. And yes, Tom, as he just said, yeah, I correct myself, based on a true story for Amityville. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
close to, yeah, I forgot that word. But yeah, that that movie is, the others, without a shadow of a doubt, is probably the most perfect example of what an actual ghost is.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's pretty much like the Sixth Sense. It's like they don't realize they're dead until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like Jeremy said, the ending makes you want to watch it again. And like when you do watch it again, you watch that opening sequence, which I absolutely love because it's like shows like illustrations being like kind of like read out by candlelight, and the candlelight being symbolic because that's what they use
Yeah.
throughout the house. Because again, the kids are photosensitive, they have to live in darkness. But and those illustrations show events that happen throughout the film,
Yeah. Yeah.
including the old woman in the communion dress.
Yeah. And when she wakes up screaming, you're like, why is she screaming? And then that makes sense at the end why
It does.
she woke up screaming because of what she had done and what she'd done
yeah,
to
I know it
herself.
wasn't even. I know, Jeremy. Yeah, it wasn't even nominated for the. It should have. It really should have. I'm
It should have
really
been.
surprised today. It.
It should
That's
have.
why. You know, I've said this before, and Don, you know this all too well. This is why I don't watch the Oscars, because they always think, to them for the most part, that horror movies, even the best ones, like a film like this, they think it sucks. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
had like or three movies that horror movies that have been nominated, but it's like they all think these are terrible. It's like, for God's sakes, open your eyes. This was a good movie that could have been nominated.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
Exactly, and I
because
like, and I don't like how. Yeah,
go ahead,
and I don't like how the fact, and I also don't like the fact that Oscars occasionally don't give recognition to some famous horror actors when they pass away. Like for a recent example,
Yep.
Tony Todd. He was a great actor. He's not only done horror, he's appeared in all sorts of movies. You know, like let's see, The Rock, and
I
he's
was going to
also
say The
appeared in all sorts
Rock.
of TV
That's one of
shows.
my favorite
Yeah,
non-horror favorites.
yeah. Oh, and a long list of TV shows, and has lent his voice to video games, including playing Venom in Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. And
Oh,
they
wow.
never list them in the memoriam for actors who have died.
Yeah,
No,
so that's why
bad.
that's why in spite that just like Don, I'm a huge film person myself, but watch the Oscars. I pretty and especially now hearing that, I practically lost my respect for that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
I
it.
mean, it's like I don't want them to just occasionally give recognition to horror. I want them to give recognition to like the best of horror when it comes out. You know, like they do. They only do that on occasion, like in the movie Get Out, which was now the first, which
Yep,
was nominated for Best Picture, and that does not happen often. Like the only horror film that has ever won Best Picture at the Academy Awards was Silence of the Lambs,
that's right.
and
Mm,
that was
That was
way back
over
in the day.
35 years ago, and then the last movie, and then the last movie, even before that, maybe not nominated for an Academy Award, but was nominated by the Oscars. Which was also 20 over 20, almost 20 years prior to that. Obviously, was The Exorcist. But as far as I know, those are the only two
yeah.
horror movies, as far as I know, that have ever truly been nominated from the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
I
loved
believe.
the. Mm,
I'm sorry.
oh no, I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna
Go ahead.
say, like, I love the characters. I think there wasn't a character that I disliked in this film. I think it was super well acted, super great casting, and you really get a lot of what's I can't think of the word, but like they all have individual personalities, and it's such a joy to watch them. Like the kids are so different. Grace is different. The servants all have their own personalities and the weird things that they do and stuff. And yeah, I just feel like nowadays you don't really get that character likeness where you're watching it and you're like, oh, I really like invested in these characters.
Yeah, and the acting was just phenomenal. Like these characters really did feel real.
They
Yeah.
did. When you look at some of the still pictures from that movie, I mean, maybe this was
Mm,
my perspective when I watched it. There was some kind of, again, it kind of gives that ghostly atmosphere to it where they kind of
yeah.
have almost at times like a glowing kind of sensation. Like you just kind of, because you can't help but notice that they're like pale whites. They're like ghostly white in a way.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
almost kind of gives you that other aspect that they're, you hear that term, you're as you're white, like sheet white, like a ghost, or
White as
some.
a sheet.
Mm,
That's basically something I did notice is just how unbelievably pale white they were, and you would, I mean, obviously, again, you don't realize it till the end. You would think that, well, maybe it's because of their skin condition. No, there's another reason why they have this pale white look. And again, it gives another aspect that not only that they're ghosts, but more important, again, they were dead to begin with.
Mhm. Oh,
yeah.
hey Braxton, how's it
Hi,
going, man?
Brexit. Yeah, like Jeremy said, it gives him that 1950s vibe because of how
Yeah.
simple it was. It
Yeah.
kind of, there's kind of elements of it that remind me of the first. So this was like 1960, 13 Ghosts.
13
If you,
Ghosts. Yeah.
yeah, like the very first one. Like when you watch that, there's a lot of that sort of storytelling and the characters, and you're
Yeah.
like really invested in it. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like it shows that that simple, that like even just a film simple, man, that would just made it like a simple manner, like can be
yeah,
efficient if done right. Like it doesn't like depend on like CGI. Like you don't see any CGI ghosts or anything like
That's what I
that.
no,
love about that
Yeah,
movie too, is that it's a movie, unlike other later ghost movies, it's a film that doesn't rely on special effects, especially
yeah,
CG.
right.
yeah.
It's all just
Psychological
Yes,
almost.
it's all psychological. It's all just great storytelling and actors that just and like characters that just felt real, being brought to life by just such talented people.
Yeah,
And
totally
one
agree, hands
And one
down.
other thing, you said a simple story, Don. Most importantly, too, let's not forget, and with a movie that has a very small cast, like it's
Yeah,
just the family and then the servants and then the group near the end, and that's it. And to me, it's like that's how you make a simple film with a simple
yeah,
cast. You don't need like hundreds of people to be.
yeah,
All you just need is like maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 at the most, and boom, there you go. You got
yeah.
the movie right there.
Or
Yeah.
Well,
even
we got to get you
people,
then, Pete.
yeah, or like even people that could just kind of show up and then maybe they get killed or something. And I'm like, well, what was the point in that? Do you know what I mean? Like, there was none of that rubbish,
Right.
like all the cast were just there and it was great. Yeah. Because I hate that in recent horror films where you like meet all these people and they come in and then terrible things happen to them. And it's just like, oh, what's the point?
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
really?
yeah, I feel like a lot of horror films like depend on like throwing in characters just to be killed off. They're basically just cannon fodder.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
really annoys me. It really does. So if that happens in a film, I'm just like, oh, don't like this film now. Just
Red
don't
shirts.
like it.
See, look what Jeremy said.
Yeah.
The ghosts were human. They don't know they are dead. And sometimes we find that in our investigations, and that's why we have to be careful when asking questions. How did you die? What? I'm dead. And that's another great example too. That
I
is
never
something
thought about that.
not surprisingly I've actually had that happen a few times in some of my years of investigations where we've asked questions, especially on the ghost box, and may ask the simple questions like "How did you die?" And sometimes, yeah, we get that type of response, like thinking, "What?" Like
Yeah. I
to
have
think
seen
about a
on,
movie, to think about a movie like The Others, it does kind of have some
yeah,
realism, especially for a lot of us in the paranormal field, knowing that we've crossed paths with that type of entity,
yeah,
and half the time they, like I said before, the time they don't even realize that they had died, in spite that what which not only just knowing that, not only did they not know that they had died, not realizing too that especially some of the old historic places that it has been many
mm,
decades.
Visit, Get Out. Yes, we were just talking about Get Out earlier, and I always praised it for like I like being an amazing film. Like it's, and we also acknowledge that Get Out is just one of the very few occasions where horror film is recognized for its brilliance in the Academy Awards. Like we need more
yeah,
horror films to be recognized for that at the Academy Awards,
Yeah, really.
especially from great works like Jordan Peele.
Oh,
And that's the one thing that blew me away. Jordan Peele, I always knew him for being a comedic actor, and then he
Yeah.
directs the Get Out, a perfectly well made film, and it was his directorial debut. And I was just like,
yep.
mm,
that blew me away, really did.
Hey, Cat Hobson is watching. Who does a show here also on our network too. Good to see you, Cat.
hi.
I
Yeah, like what Jeremy also says, like when we investigate empty buildings, this is a perfect representation of what they go through, us invading their spaces and asking questions. He's absolutely right.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, because there was one investigation that was part of where I asked, like, if they have unfinished business here, you know, like, because when you look at ghosts now, like we're always looking at ghosts to currently not like just as monsters. No, we're looking at it as people who are just trapped in purgatory.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, let's just the fact of the reality is, and this is again like what goes to show with what the others does. It really goes to show not only just the past life of basically people those who had died long ago that tell a story of like this particular mansion, if you will, but
Right.
more importantly is it's kind of hard to describe because ironically enough, because this was, what was it, released in 2001, Don? Was it
Right.
2001? Okay. So if it was released in 2001, that was pretty much around the same time where you had well, unlike now, when you had a lot of the paranormal shows really starting to kind of gain popularity. I mean, yes, this was about 2-3 years before Ghost Hunters started,
Right.
but at that time, though, you did have a lot of the, not TV series, but more of the documentaries, just individual documentaries made in that period. Which, by the way,
I
I
think
said this.
Most Haunted was around 2001,
Yep,
wasn't it?
2002. They were the
2002 was
following
Most
year,
Haunted. Okay.
2002. But I still remember this, and this is why I think a lot of the older paranormal shows are far better than the newer ones. One example I can give off, which has kind of become a forgotten series, was a show called Haunted Hotels, which it wasn't
Yes.
really a full series, but it was kind of like a mini. It still aired for about 9 episodes, and
I remember.
that came out around that same time the others came out. So I like the fact that the others was kind of released during the heights of like when the
Yeah.
individual and by the way, Chris, you said you remember that? Well, for
Yeah.
anybody who likes watching the old paranormal documentaries, you guys are in luck because there is a YouTuber out there. He has been uploading a lot of those old paranormal shows
Oh,
on his
wow.
yeah, like from the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s. In fact, the first series that he uploaded every episode of another show that came out same period too, Scariest Places on Earth. And
Yeah.
so I don't I
I'm
don't know.
watching that today.
Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you kind of cut out for a second. What did you say?
No, I'm saying another show that came out around the same time the others was Scariest Places on Earth,
Oh.
So and this guy uploaded like literally every damn episode of that show. I don't know who this guy's name is.
Jesus.
He just simply, his YouTube channel is just simply called They're Here.
Oh.
But in my personal opinion, but what I call it is the archives, because he's literally uploading all these documentaries and shows that
Mhm.
I really thought for the longest time had truly been lost to time. I thought we would never see these again. So when you look, so now when I really get a perspective again of this movie, The Others, it's just awesome now that not only that we're talking about it, but more importantly too, that this guy's been uploading a lot of these old documentaries around the same time The Others came out. Which, if you guys want,
Cool.
the YouTube link, I'll send it out so you guys can check it out. Because I had to tell this guy, whoever you are a seriously true paranormal legend for uploading all this stuff. Because we never thought we'd ever see these again. So whoever
Yeah,
you are, thank you.
Yeah.
Totally.
What about your favorite scenes? What are your favorite scenes?
I got to
Oh,
say
yeah.
what Tom said. Tom's like, watch out for those YouTubers. Really weird people. Yeah, I thought there's this crazy YouTube channel. It was probably the weirdest out of all.
This is Tom's World.
Yeah, YouTuber called This Is Todd's World. This crazy guy, Tom. Like, man, he's weird.
Well, Nick kind of looks pickle green right there. So.
Yeah, he has a fascination with pickles. And you know what? He always likes to talk like Rick and Morty all the time.
Yeah, and he does it way better than you, Nick.
Yeah, I know he does.
This makes me laugh.
Oh yeah. Or, Josh said he needs a link, right? I think he's referring to that YouTube channel.
Josh, I'm friends with him on Facebook. So let me. I'm going to send that to him personally.
Wait, I think he was referring to that channel you were talking about before that uploads all the paranormal stuff.
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm already ahead of him.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. And as far as favorite scenes, my number one favorite scene is where Nicole Kidman's character goes into to check on her daughter, like is in the dress and sees the old woman underneath it, and that scene is like the one scene that really got me invested when I saw that in the trailer when I was a little kid. I'm just like, oh my god! After that scene, I gotta check this movie out. That was creepy.
Yeah.
All right, now, Josh, I'm going to send this to you, and then afterwards, Don, if you can, I'm going to send it to you so you can send it in the chat later. In fact, before we end it, I would like to show what the YouTube channel looks like so people can get an idea. It's actually a really cool page, and I think it would be – I don't normally show YouTube pages, but this is actually pretty cool. So before we end tonight, I'd like to show that quickly.
You might have to show This Is Tom's World as well to balance it out.
Yeah, of course.
This is Tom's World has a really cool administrator on that page, though.
But
Oh wow.
I was wearing
yeah.
my Tom's World T-shirt when I went to the hospital. So,
Oh,
Oh,
it's a
really?
special shirt.
so that one I'm not quite sure where it's at right now. So I might have to get another one.
Oh,
Well,
Chris.
hey, our thoughts and prayers are going to you, Chris.
Yeah. Hope you get better.
Thank you. I'm good now. I'm pretty good right now. So
Yeah, but you need a new T-shirt, a
yeah,
new Tom's World T-shirt.
Yes.
yeah. This is just
Tom's like,
that's
hell yeah. Show this is Tom's world.
And
Oh,
yeah. And
Nikki's
you have pickles, Nikki says.
he loves
yeah, oh
pickles.
Nikki
He
was
does.
also she was also commenting on my personal chat first saying love that show. I think she's referring to haunted hotels, and
Ah,
that's
I see.
Mm,
Oh, and,
again, that's just like well, and I got to just throw one more thing about these old shows, like compared to the others, is what I love also a lot
Thank
about
you,
the
Nikki.
older paranormal shows compared to now is just like what you said about simple filming with the others. We have a simple story. That was kind of the same thing with a lot of the old paranormal shows. Back
mm,
then, it wasn't about trying to get the best evidence or trying to get
Run,
something.
dude.
Had it was more history in a way. You had reenactments,
Yeah,
yes. You had people to sit down, tell the story of what happened, years ago, and then you tell the ghost stories. It was essentially just people sitting, being interviewed, talking about history and ghost stories, and
yeah,
that was it. There was nothing else back then, which is again, that's the reason why I wish paranormal shows from that era could go back to the way they used to, because they were just so much more fascinating, back then.
absolutely,
yeah,
Nick.
yeah. One of
It's
the
the best
scenes I
version
really
of it.
liked was Nicholas when he was studying and he kept hearing the footsteps. And I think he was reading, wasn't he? He was reading from the Bible and he could hear the footsteps. I always found that super creepy. And then his mum came in and she was like, oh, where are the footsteps coming from? Like, yeah, that was really, really good.
and
And then also the scene in the attic with the sheets,
yes.
that was really creepy because you
Yeah, it
expect to see
was.
something and she's just like taking the sheets off and
Yeah.
yeah.
He
Where
has like
Nicole
that old woman appearance, like a
Mm,
hag almost.
Yeah, it's like Nicole Kidman is finally realizing something's seriously wrong with the house. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was good. I like those scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
also, I
wild.
forgot to mention that Tom Cruise had also produced this along with the Weinsteins. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, Tom Cruise, because I believe yeah, he and Nicole Kidman, I believe they were still married at the time.
Yeah. They adopted kids, didn't they? Because they couldn't have kids.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure because Nicole looks after the kids now, obviously, the adopted children.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, crazy. Like Tom Cruise's backstory is crazy.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah. Yeah, that was also a disturbing scene as well. Like, and
Yeah,
then when the kids were like in the same,
yeah,
we're in
that
the
was
room
creepy.
together. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Always, there's always such a good build up in this.
Yeah,
I just love,
so much suspense. Yeah,
yes,
Very much.
yeah, and none of the jump scares feel cheap or anything like
no,
that. No, it was
legit.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
I've seen like too many horror films where like people are just relying on like easily predictable jump scares, but no, this
yeah.
like you never
Or
see.
or the music is like super loud. So it's not even the scene that scares you, it's the music.
yeah.
Whereas in this film, it's the opposite. It's, you know, there's not that like blast of music. It's more of the actors, like the way they respond makes you jump
It's
as well.
it
So
Right.
just has a very eerie atmosphere to it.
yeah,
Like you don't have to rely on again jump scares or something. Just the whole sequence or film just has a very
mm,
it's very unsettling kind of vibe. Not exactly the same like you would see like with the movie The Haunting, but it still does have that creepy atmosphere to it.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah, the whole house has that kind of atmosphere. Like the, and also all the curtains had to be up because the kids are photosensitive. And I believe I
All
told
the
Nikki
doors
this.
locked. Yeah,
Yeah, I believe I told Nikki this before that I looked into the like what the kid's condition was, and it turns out it's real. Like,
Yeah.
it actually is a real
Yeah.
thing that but it's
Yeah.
rare, though. It only happens to, like, a few hundred, maybe just about 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they're exposed to sunlight, like their whole skin blisters, like it's really
Yeah,
painful.
it's like a I
An
can't remember. Yeah,
allergy. It's almost
yeah,
like
it's
an allergy.
like a skin condition. Like it's
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's a in reality it is a rare type of syndrome or skin disorder where they can't be out in the sun anywhere for no more than a few seconds to a few to on some rare occasions
Yeah.
not at all. Like they can never feel any type of warmth of the sun
Right.
if it touches their skin. And by the way, Nikki just said on my personal account, she's just started watching the others now. Check it out. Oh, and
Oh,
guys,
that's
Irene. Hi,
Irene,
Irene.
good.
How
how
are
are
you?
you?
Ooh, been busy.
That's good.
Long time no see.
Uh,
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I got all kinds of other projects that were handed to me. Hey, try this out.
Oh,
Try
okay.
that. Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I'll do
it's
it.
yeah, it's great to have you on because yeah, we've been wanting to have you back on for ages.
I
I
asked
know.
if she wanted. I asked if she wanted to join, but she's only joining for just a short period, so she just wanted
I
to,
see.
come on for a few minutes.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
So
I got lots of things that I gotta do. You know that? Like it's like why me? Like, do I have to? Yes, you do. Okay.
Aw.
That makes two of us, Irene, with all the projects I have to work on. So
Yeah, and
I
this
know
new
the
witches
feeling.
group, right? Like, okay, I didn't,
Yeah,
I, I didn't label myself as a witch, but I guess they do. Whatever.
Aw.
yeah.
can't think of the terminology, but it is a real
Yeah.
display of sunlight.
Just found it. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me post it here. Let's see. It is called Xenoderma pigmentosum.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I never
It
even
sounds
heard
like
of
Yeah,
it.
what I ate for dinner last night.
Yeah, I never even heard of this condition like until after I saw this movie, and then I looked it up. I'm like, huh, never heard of this term before.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you catch
Interesting.
it?
Yeah,
I think it's I think it's genetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's really really something that I think that's. I mean, yes, it's probably existed for centuries, but like from like a doctor's point of view, it's probably still something that's still kind of a recent discovery where they're still kind of learning a lot more about it.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Otherwise
so
known as vampirism.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of like
that's the thing. That's the thing. When I was little, I was like looking at this movie. And I'm just like, so are the kids vampires or something? Is that the twist here? Like what?
Mm.
Right?
Like,
What's gonna be the
but then I
twist?
looked.
there,
I know.
But then I researched
there's
and I.
no
But then I
there's no
researched and
doubt,
I
I was
found
gonna say
out.
there's no doubt that they probably borrowed that type of skin disorder as part of the legend,
Mm.
of vampires, because as we know in the Eastern
Okay.
European traditions, vampires appeared pretty much as they did in life, but
Mm.
had that ice cold, pale looking skin appearance to them.
These guys built up an immunity living in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Nice.
yeah, Florida could do that, and so could
You don't need
California.
Tide
And,
Pod.
yeah, California has a hot sun all year round.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I mean, California. There's one part of California that actually serves as the hottest place on Earth. It's called Death Valley,
Death
and
Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
here, let me look at. Let's see, Death
Yeah.
Valley.
I
10.
know the highest temperature that Death Valley has ever had. It actually was back in 1913 when the
Mm-hmm.
temperature rose to about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the
That's
highest
insane.
temperature. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's the hottest
Yeah.
ever in the entire world, but it was the hottest year for the United States,
Oh
and
my
it's
god.
been like that even over 100 years later. No other temperature
Okay.
has ever topped that.
Yeah. So if you ever plan to go to Death Valley, hope you brought your sunscreen.
They
Mm.
actually do. I don't
Lots
know
of
if you guys.
water, too.
Oh yeah, well I don't know if you guys heard. They actually do a marathon out in Death Valley, and
Why?
Wow.
yeah, they do. Like people are like walking for miles or running and stuff. And a lot of times, yes, they're either shirtless or they wear white, clothing because I know it reflects it off. But man, I could tell you right because I saw a weather documentary one time about that, and I can't tell you how many times when they had to stop in the middle of the marathon because this was a marathon that was supposed to go for several days. So therefore, they
Mm.
could take breaks in this, and I can't tell
Mm.
you how many hotels that they had to go to and how many baths they had to bathe in with all this ice cold water, and their bodies are literally red, like
Mm.
completely, like oh my
That's
god,
Yeah, so
crazy.
yeah, Death Valley is the kind of place that could potentially kill you whether you're photosensitive or not.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
dry, yeah, it's dry heat, as Jeremy said. It's not humidity, it's literally just dry heat that basically gets to it.
You should
Yeah.
come here during July and August.
I
It's
was gonna
hot.
say it gets I
Oh,
was gonna say I'm
July
sure it gets pretty
season.
hot out in Japan there too. Is
It gets
is it not?
hot.
Mm,
It gets real hot. Like it's about someplace there are no shades, so it's like jungle concrete buildings, and if you stand in the middle of it, you're baking in the sun. Like it's real hot.
Oh
And
man,
you got your humidity, you got the heat, and you feel like ugh. Like sometimes it can be almost 50 degrees in the shade, and it's real hot. And
mm,
you have no matter how much water you drink, it just goes. You don't have to go to the bathroom because you're drinking so much water, just to keeping yourself hydrated, right?
Right.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just really crazy. That's why I like drinking lemon juice or lemon anything with lemons in it. It's really good. It's really good to protect you from the heat.
that's
That's what
kind
I
of
mm.
usually do. I just drink lemonade or anything like that, or lemon soda.
Oh
That's
yeah.
all I drink in the summertime.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
I'm
tip.
the same thing. Yeah. And so Irene, what is your favorite part in the others? Your favorite scene?
I think I like all of them. There isn't one scene that I don't dislike.
Mm,
Yeah.
It's like the whole movie. I love the whole movie. Like
yeah.
if I was able to see it again, I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
Mm,
Yeah, it's definitely kind of movie that just has no dull moment. You know, every bit of
No,
it is
no,
yeah.
and the colors that they used for the film was like kind of off, but really dark, but really cool.
yeah.
yeah.
It just made
Why
the whole movie come together really well, and it was made really good too. So
It was.
you know,
Especially
you
the
think
twist ending.
like you said like I gotta go to the bathroom. No, I can wait. No, I can wait. I can hold it. Like
Mm, yeah. I just remembered the scene with the graves. Did the gardener have to cover up the graves? And then she goes and finds them of
Right.
the
yeah,
servants.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that scene now.
yeah.
That was
my,
yeah.
my favorite scene, I would say, well, yeah, it was again probably one of the creepiest scenes. It's what we were talking about earlier was when they discovered again the pictures of dead people.
Yeah, that was so
Mm,
creepy.
It was
yeah.
so
It was.
creepy and it was real. It's so realistic because again, whenever I do, and it was more creepy on my part because again, being the guy that researches a lot of history, I've actually seen real pictures like that myself in my
Hmm.
research. That also again adds some realism to my research, knowing that I've actually
Mm,
seen pictures like that.
They'd
Yeah.
So
sit them up in their chairs. They'd make them pose, even if they were dead. Yeah, they do. They did a lot of weird things back then.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they sure did.
And a lot of them had their eyes still open.
yeah, they
Like,
Yeah,
did.
yep,
and
yep.
so they didn't even look, you
You
know.
couldn't
Well,
tell if they were dead or alive either.
Well, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've told you guys about this before, and I'll keep it real short. But a few years ago, I lost a friend of mine, who was about the same age, as as me. She died of cancer, unfortunately,
Oh
and she was
no.
a childhood friend of mine. And
Yeah.
we went to the funeral, but the difference was, and very much kind of like what you see in the picture, it was kind of similar, like what you see in these pictures,
Hmm.
is it was a different tradition of burial because she came from a Hindu family.
Hmm.
So the difference was, unlike what you see, like with burials, like in, whether it's like Christian or Jewish, where the
Mm.
body properly, like not only properly buried, but it's neatly preserved. It looks all clean. It's peaceful. It almost looks like they're sleeping. In the Hindu tradition, it was a lot more different because when she passed away, they literally left her the way she passed. She died. They didn't clean the body, and she was only 26 years old. Yet her body literally looked like she was elderly. She looked like she was like
Yeah.
100 years old, and
Mhm.
I couldn't look at that no more than just maybe a minute or two. The rest time I was there, I could only just see
Yeah.
through the pictures. I mean, she really did look like she had the face of death on her. And so when I look at so from my experience, when you look at pictures like that, it's a far and when you actually see something like that in person, it's a very different feeling to it. And it was just it's just very unsettling. I mean, of course,
Mm.
we wanted to, hopefully made sure that she was resting in peace. But at that time, though, that was just, it was hard to look at. But you have to remember, though, it's a different culture entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they do here, they don't preserve the body, right? Once a person dies, you're not supposed to carve into it because it's against the Buddhist religion. Um,
Mm.
you can they would wash sometimes, and they would put makeup if it's a female, or if it was a male, they just leave it the way it is, and they would close it with the very best clothing that they would wear, or they would dress in a white kimono. For white means that when you're born in white, you die in white,
Mm.
as being pure. You're pure once again when you die. You're pure when you're born. You're pure when you die.
Right.
And
Oh.
they would do that, and then um, they would put it in a white casket, in a wooden casket, right? That's there's no color to the wood, and then you would give a whole bunch of funeral flowers, and you'd put it in the casket, and then yeah, and then you go to the crematory. Everyone watches the body being cremated, right? And you'd have your lunch. They give you Buddhist lunch, and at the end, they would take the bones when it's like and you'd put it in a big clay pot, and the head would go in after the body, after all the bones are all put in, and the head would go in last, and they close up the pot, and then you take it to the cemetery, right? Yeah, and you have a ceremony there, and you bring some food for the dead so they can eat, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a whole new
Mm.
rigmarole, right?
Man, wow.
that's interesting.
Mm.
I wasn't quite used to it when I got here, but we do the same thing to our animals too. You take it to the Buddhist crematory for pets, but now they have one that they come in a big, huge SUV, and then you could do it right in front of your home. Yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
But they take care of it. They'd be really respectful. And you burn incense, and then we had one where we were able to put a a bracelet onto our pet, right? And then they take it someplace else to be cremated. They bring it back, and I got one here. They put a bone, the tailbone and the paw bone in here, and
Oh,
that's what you
Mm.
use. Yeah, that's what you have.
Oh, wow.
It's like a keychain.
Oh.
It's your preservation.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay.
that's for luck. You keep it for good luck.
I
Oh.
really like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
and
Wow.
you choose the colors that you wanted, right? And they do everything for you. Yeah,
Well, that's
Wow.
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really
But nothing
fascinating.
is done. No, nobody is rounded to ashes. It's always into a bone, and the bones are all protected.
Oh,
Mm.
It's
very
just a
Interesting.
culture. It's just a culture. It's a little bit different here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
every culture is different when it comes
yeah.
to like
Brax,
many things, including memorializing someone. You know.
Yeah.
what
So I
Brax
keep
said
mine here to protect
down in
myself.
parts of South America,
Mm.
the Caribbean, they have the bodies propped up if that's what the person wanted or if their loved ones request. I can see that definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us,
Mm.
though,
Inside the jukebox. If
Yeah,
I
Asian
die.
culture, traditional colors rather than white. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yep.
Because you're white when you're born, you're pure when you're born, you become pure again when you die. And after 100 days, you become a god. So you go with the gods so you can pray to the gods, and you ask them for help, you ask them for protection and everything else.
That's right.
Oh,
It's just, yeah.
Yeah. So is what Brexton's saying should like the loved one use yeah, he left this comment right here in Japanese cremations.
Loved ones and friends can use chopsticks to pick out the bones from the ashes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
wow.
Uh,
So if I were holding one chopstick, right, and then let's say Nick was holding the other pair of chopsticks, we'd hold the bone together and place it in the pot together.
Oh,
Oh,
that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes
yeah,
That's so
sense.
sweet.
yeah, it does. Oh,
And that's the only time where you're allowed to. That's why they say you never hand somebody with chopstick with food in it to the other person. The other person is not allowed to grab it either.
Right.
Yeah, because
oh,
no, that's a no, right? You only do that
yeah.
if you're showing
yeah,
somebody who's dead. That's the same thing. We never stab a bowl of rice with chopsticks in the center because that's something when you do for dead people. It's really bad, you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
yes, yes. There's all
The
sorts of
Josh,
Interesting.
oh yeah,
the
there's all
Josh
sorts of different ways.
says,
Through, I was about to say there's all sorts of different ways throughout history, different cultures, different ways of that they use to memorialize the dead. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah, like one thing I've seen often in film is like how Vikings, how they just put a person like on like a floating
The
casket, and then
funeral
they
pyre.
fire an arrow, a flaming arrow, and
Mm,
then it burns there as it travels out to sea. You know, their path to
yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's another tradition out there, and this is actually involving one of the South American tribes. In fact, I learned this. And Don, not to, I don't want to go this full direction, but I'm just going to say this was one of the tribes that actually was the inspiration for that movie, Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh my
Mhm.
god!
But no, but it's not like definitely not like what you see in the movie, of course, though.
Right.
But they do have a tradition that, in spite that people label those type of tribes as cannibals, which most of the time they're not, but they do
Mm,
practice kind of a ritual, not only just honoring the dead, but a type of little cannibalism. And again, I know it's going to sound gross, but again, this is just they've done this for thousands of years. Where whenever a member of their tribe has passed away,
Mhm.
they, regardless of how they died, they
Mhm.
also cremate the body as well. You know, they do like
Mhm.
a whole bonfire and cremate them. But then
Mhm.
after the person is reduced to dust,
Mhm.
they again, it may sound gross. They actually will mix it in like this type of drink or something, and then they ingest it into them because, well, as gross as it sounds, it's basically to show that it's a type of tradition where they think that yes, if basically like part of your body is consumed by the living members of that tribe, it basically almost like represents that you, your person, your being, your soul will live forever. You know, it's like
Huh.
the
That's
body may
good on
it's that same tradition
What?
where the body may be dead, but the soul never
Nick, didn't
dies.
they didn't they use that also to gain the knowledge of the person who died, so the knowledge
Yeah.
would remain in that person's body while they're
Yeah, very
living?
much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they they did that in South Park. You know that was so where they were trying to get that when they found Kenny's ashes, and then
Oh yeah,
Carmen mistook it for chocolate.
yeah.
What was it, chocolate something?
oh no.
So ate Kenny, and
Kenny's
then
been
Kenny.
killed so many times in South Park, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, yeah, the character that always dies, right? But this time, like Kenny was dead for real, and then like Kenny's consciousness was now living in Carmen because he consumed his ashes. Like, oh my god.
Oh, that was so funny.
That's awesome.
Oh wow.
That's funny, guys.
Remind me not to eat lunch today. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Irene.
Just don't drink any coffee. Coffee made me faster.
Need to be
Oh
honored.
yeah, all dead need to be honored, and they can
Yes.
become restless no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm currently honoring my grandfather right now by sitting in his chair. Yeah, this
Mm.
chair that yeah, Irene, I don't think I told you this, but this chair that I sit in when I do my podcast, when I do my reaction
Mhm.
videos, is the same chair that my grandpa Don had used when he did all of his paintings all around downtown Chicago.
Mhm.
So I do all my
That's
creative
pretty
work
cool.
from I do all my creative work from the very seat where he did his creative work. That's how I honor him.
Is that why he's always behind you?
Oh,
Yeah, but he is with me in spirit. I do feel it. He's with me in
Oh,
spirit.
okay. I'm not gonna freak you out
yeah.
anymore. Okay.
Well,
Sorry.
and I'll
Mm.
actually share something similar like that. The desks that I usually do well, some of the paranormal podcast goes, I have two desks. The one down here in the basement, that was also my grandfather's. Although I haven't really used it very frequently because, again, I've been still working on these audio books. But as soon as I finish this up, I'll be going right back to his desk and, basically, in a way, picking up where things left off. So I've been kind of carried. So in a very similar case, I've been doing that with the desk.
Mm, mm.
Oh,
I have never heard this term. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
because
Yeah.
Braxton
Oh,
said
Self
something about that.
notification.
Yeah,
Oh.
in a previous comment, I think.
Yeah, I said it on a previous.
I missed that. I must have missed this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, there was a
It's
previous
self.
comment.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about this. Huh.
Mm.
Self mummification.
I self mummifying. How do you mummify yourself?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I'd like
I
to
don't
know.
know. That's a real good question, though. I want to know
Oh,
where your cat
look
live.
at the
Aw.
kitty cat.
Oh,
Oh, so
You don't
cute.
have creepy.
I wish Slinky was like this.
yeah. If only.
Yeah.
She's sitting over in the next couch over
Yeah.
here.
If only I was not allergic to cats.
Yeah.
I am. I'm allergic to cats. I have a really bad allergy this spring. Never mind. You won't want to know.
I mean, it's not bad. Like I don't have anything severe. It's just that my eyes get watery.
Oh, I
Mm.
get that too. Like it's been really bad here.
I like how the
Cat.
living people decide to live in the house
And
where
they
the
hid
spirits
the
make their home until. Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Jeremy makes a good point. Going back, talking about the others. Yeah, that's
What did
here.
Jeremy say?
Oh, here, let me
Show the
pull it up.
comment. Show the comment, Danya,
Yeah,
because I saw you were just reading it.
sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's another thing too. Is where do you see a haunted house movie where it's like movies before this movie and afterwards? It's always like involving the people that move in and they
Yeah.
encounter the ghosts. But where do you see a movie that
Mm.
the others where yes, there are living occupants, but it's
Yeah.
still more or less focusing on the ghosts themselves. The only other film, or I would say series in this case, that's ever came close to doing something like that would be maybe
Yeah.
first season of American Horror Story. But even then, it didn't come as close as the others did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I think once the family found out what actually happened when they had that seance, I remember the medium was like, "Oh, she's so powerful and she's so angry." And I think that's when the family just decided to leave because they just had enough of it.
Right.
But yeah, I do remember that bit.
And the son Victor. Yeah, we finally revealed that there
Yeah.
was a Victor,
Yeah.
but he wasn't a ghost. He was a living. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like the family here, Grace and her kids, they feel terrorized by spirits when really, in reality, these intruders are
Hmm.
actually a living family,
Yeah.
and she and her kids and the servants are the ghosts.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that was that's like twist is like right up there with the Sixth Sense. Seriously.
Yeah.
Mm.
But still,
Yeah.
So
I
you got to
don't
watch the TV show Ghost, Nick.
wait, what was that?
Got to watch the TV show Ghost.
Oh yeah,
The
that's
comedy.
I
right.
watched that. That really drives me bonkers. That movie, that show. You know that because I deal with a lot of
Mm.
dead people and
Yeah.
the living too. And yeah,
Oh,
Oh, it's Nick.
Nikki's back.
Hey,
Nikki.
maybe
right.
Beetlejuice. Oh yeah,
Maybe,
Beetlejuice.
yeah, maybe Beetlejuice, but that's more of a comedy, of course.
But yeah, it's more of a
Yeah.
comedy. And like it's like we already know they're dead throughout this whole time. It's just like finding out that they're
Yeah.
dead. Well, like where it's like you're built up to believe like they're actually there, like among the living, but then you discover no, that person has been dead this whole time. Like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty insane twist if done right, and both The Others and The Sixth Sense have done it right.
Yeah. A
Yes.
Yeah,
hundred
yeah.
percent.
Have we talked about six? I can't remember. Did we
We have
talk about?
not, so
Okay, we
but
got to talk about that soon.
this year we're going to.
Okay,
This
Oh,
good.
I
year
love
we
Sixth Sense. I used
Oh,
to
we
use the
should have.
same thing. I see dead
Another
people. That's
another
what I used
another
to
all
say.
another all-time favorite of
I
mine. This
say that too.
yeah,
When
this
Mm.
may
when
actually be my
when somebody
favorite,
asks me, they go, "What do
yeah.
you see?" I see dead people. They go,
Yeah.
"Really?" I go, "Yeah, I talk to dead people too." They go, "Okay, we don't want to talk to her." Yeah, yeah, bye. Like I go, "Hey, what's the matter?" You know?
You know, there. I'm surprised we didn't cover that one last year because last year would have been the 25th anniversary of the Sixth
Oh,
Sense. I didn't even
yeah,
think
that's
about
right.
that. 'Cause it came
Yeah.
out in
Yeah.
1999.
Well, hey, we'll make up for it this year, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did on the 26th
definitely.
anniversary.
Oh, damn! I should have even checked to see because Don, like how they have those anniversary showings at AMC Theater.
Right.
Damn it! I should have checked last year to see if they were going to have an anniversary. I would have wanted to see what it would have been like in the theater.
Well, hey, you know what's the 50th anniversary this year, right?
It is what is it?
Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws. Yeah, Jaws is.
Wow.
Yep. So by the time summer hits, lots of theaters around Chicago are going to have like re-screenings of that. I wonder if my dad would be interested because he originally saw it back in 1975 in theaters with his high school buddies.
Hmm.
Not only that,
They
I
show
saw
it
it.
here every summer.
Well, I saw it. I was gonna say I saw it in a theater a few years ago, and it was quite phenomenal. And honestly, like Don, if you wanted to go see it, I wouldn't mind seeing it in the theater again because I want you guys to experience it for yourselves.
Up in Denver, they do it at drive-ins, and they have like giant swimming pools, and you can float in the swimming pools as well.
Oh wow!
They do that here. They
Wow.
do that here too.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what
I
I've
just have that would be
noticed.
phenomenal to do.
That's
I'd
what
have
I've
somebody
noticed
swimming under
recently
them,
is
tug on your leg and
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't know if my dad would be willing to do that, but yeah, that is a thing here.
that's what I've noticed recently is that drive-ins they're starting to make a comeback now. And of course, obviously, as some of you guys know, I have been going to a drive-in. Don, well, I know you haven't been able to go
I'm not
yet,
even
but I
old
have
enough to
gone
drive.
I've gone with Rochelle a few times. So, it's pretty cool to see it in a drive-in theater.
Yeah, I got to go to a drive-in theater
Oh,
because
we'll have to take you to the one
yeah,
that
I'm
we.
old enough to have gone.
yeah.
So.
The last time anybody in my family's been to a drive-in theater was my grandpa Chuck when he went with his friends to see in 1951 The Thing, which would be
Oh,
remade into which was years later remade into the John Carpenter film. And I even told him about that. Like I told him, you think the original Thing is scary? John Carpenter takes it to a whole new level, and he's like, "Oh man."
yeah,
No.
Don, we'll have to take you to the drive-in that we've been going, and that drive-in is an original drive-in theater. That one has been operating, funny enough, that same year since 1951, and it's still been operating to this very day. And thankfully, as I've learned from the drive-in, I mean, it's not very expensive to get in. It's actually like 15, $20 at the most. But it's a really great drive-in. We're gonna have to take you out there one of these days.
For
Well,
sure. Hey,
be really cool. Don and Nick, you come here. We'll watch Jaws on our TV, okay? And then I take you to the Pacific Ocean, or I take you to Japan seaside. We go swimming in the ocean. How's that?
hey, I've encountered a shark once or twice before, Irene, in the wild, so I'm not really afraid of them. If
Yeah,
anything,
but they got
that probably
nets
scares me.
out, right, where everyone goes swimming, and yeah,
Yeah,
they don't come around. So
yeah.
yeah, that'd be fun. We go and eat seafood at the restaurant after.
Good filmmaker, John Carpenter. Yes, he is, Braxton. I went to the same university that he did, and I was like amazed to learn that the street names there in Bowling Green, he used those street names in his movies.
Oh
Nikki
wow,
here
that's
just
cool.
said in my personal chat, she asked us, have we
I
watched
didn't know.
something that's called Hell House LLC? You guys know anything about that?
No.
The name sounds real
It
familiar,
does
but
sound familiar too.
I can't place it.
Oh, this is it. Okay, so I just looked it up. It came out 10 years ago. Oh, it's a found footage horror film. Um,
Mm.
it is the first installment. Oh, there's a franchise to it.
Oh, is there?
Follows a group of Halloween haunted house creators as they prepare for the 2009 opening of their popular haunted attraction, Hell House.
Oh,
Tragedy strikes an opening night when an
Where's your message?
unknown malfunction causes the death of 15 tour goers and staff. No one will
Mm.
lead up to the tragedy and what really went wrong that night, the details of which remain a mystery to the public. So again, yeah, there's it's a found footage type horror film, and it has spawned it spawned 4 sequels.
It
In
did.
fact,
I
the
think I
most
came across
recent
that.
one, the most recent one they called, Hell House LLC Lineage. Let me take that back. No, 3 sequels have been made. Hell House LLC Lineage, fifth movie. It is set to be released in October later this year. So they're still making them.
Watch party.
Hold
Yeah,
on, 1 second.
there you go.
I don't know when I'm going to make
Here.
Chicago, so yeah, watch party.
Oh, here. I did come across it on here. Here,
Yep.
it is a franchise. Here. I came across it on the Shutter app.
Yeah, 5. There's 4 movies so far, and a 5th one, and soon a 5th movie.
There you
Oh,
go.
here. It is on Shutter. Yeah. It's got a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
That's pretty good.
I'll give this one a shot. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Nice.
All right.
No, Hell House and the Haunting. No. This is a separate series, Braxton. It's called Hell House LLC.
Yeah, I think it's something different, Braxton.
Braxton also said, "I love sharks on a plane." That'd be funny. Sharks on a plane. And Nikki,
Yeah, I heard.
Nikki said she's watched it. She says it's nuts. So it's got to be something definitely to check out on.
Yeah, I always wanted to go back to Louisiana, Braxton. Yeah, lots of good stuff there, and I have heard my share of stories about hauntings there too. So.
Oh yeah, Louisiana, not just New Orleans, a good portion of
Can we meet
Louisiana.
up there?
It is just extremely, extremely haunted.
I got
Renee
friends
Allen's
that
Blind Woman was her last film before passing away in 2014
Wow.
at the age of 99. Jeez, almost made it to 100.
Yeah, Yeah, that's right. The blind woman who was the medium in the others. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Joe. Joe's in the chat.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Hey,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe. How's it going? Yeah, good
I'm really
evening.
sorry,
Hope
guys.
everything's
I
going
have
well.
to jump off now. I just got to go and deal with something. But thank you for having me on. It was really, really nice
No
to
problem.
cover the others.
Bye, Kate.
Bye. Bye,
Yeah, take care, Kate.
everyone. Chris.
Take care, Kate.
Bye, Don. I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. See ya.
Let's not
Take
forget what
care.
Jeremy said. And he himself was in Louisiana a few days ago for his bowling league.
Oh. Oh, that's where that was. Okay.
Yeah, that's where he
nice.
was. Oh, and somebody here from my personal chat. Oh, hey, Nicole. She sounds like she's seen it too. She said, Hell House LLC is such a great set of movies. The last one ties them all together, a must watch. So that's something we have to check out then.
Okay, definitely got to see it. Yes.
Thanks, Nicole.
Sounding good.
Yeah, and like I said, Shudder. If you're a horror fan, definitely get it. Yeah, seriously, Shudder. They got all kinds of great stuff on there. Just a few weeks ago, I saw a movie that on there that was made in France that really blew my mind. Like about as far as spiders.
He's back. Hey, Nikki's
hey,
back.
Nikki.
What's up?
I miss. Hey, I missed
Spiders.
everybody.
Spiders.
All right. Yeah.
What
So
was your
yeah, we were
French
just talking
movie?
about
What?
Your movie you watched from France about spiders?
Ugh.
everybody's cutting out. I can't understand anything.
That's okay.
You were saying about a French movie?
Oh yes, there's a French movie that came out over the past year that was called Infested, where this young guy lives in an apartment complex in Paris. He gets he loves collecting all sorts of exotic insects, and he just gets his hands on a deadly spider that
Okay.
rapidly multiplies and infests the entire building. Killing everybody in sight.
I thought you were going to say something
Yeah.
involving roaches.
No, that's
No.
Joe's apartment.
No, believe me, I actually was satisfied. I was satisfied with Infested. It was good, much better than I was expecting.
And when did this come out?
2024. So it's a new film.
Also last year. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I believe it's right up there with Arachnophobia, and I never thought anything would even come close.
Oh, yeah. I've just looked it up. Actually, 2023, but yeah, it's in French title. It's Vermin, which is literally
It's vermin.
Yeah, which is literally vermin in English.
Right. Yeah, but so if you got Shutter, definitely check that one out. If you want to see if you want to be creeped out by spiders, yeah, that's a good one to do that with.
Don't show my husband anything like that. He'll probably try to chase it out of the house.
Okay, now I know I'm not alone to say. Now I know I'm not alone to say is Nicole's like not the roaches.
I'm
Yeah,
back.
that's
Oh,
right,
Lord.
Nicole. You got it, not the roaches.
Yeah,
Snakes.
because oh man. Oh, here's Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Nancy doing. I don't know who
Hey
this is,
Nancy,
but
how you doing?
welcome. Welcome.
Nick, have you
But
watched the Hell House LL? Oh my god, what did I put? Hell House LLC. Yep.
I have not, but since you sent that to me, it's definitely got my attention. So it's definitely something I'd like to check out. I was just explaining that I know there's 3 sequels that follow to it, and there's
Hmm.
there's a 5th one that's coming out later this year. So there's going to be 5 of them eventually. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, we lost Irene.
Last I
oh,
read.
Irene's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the connection I think the connection went out on her.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that movie's a little bit nuts.
Yeah, that's what I was looking it up. I'm thinking, wow, this actually looks kind of creepy. So definitely gonna have to check this out.
I know I did
Hmm.
too, real quick. I googled it on my
Oh yeah,
phone.
Infested
Oh, wait,
is
oh,
pretty good.
she's back.
Oh, she's
Irene's
back.
back.
Excellent.
There we go. You good? We could see you, but for some reason the sound is not working.
Oh.
Wait, I heard something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, wait. I did hear sound briefly. Here, Irene, go out and come back. Try again. Go out and come
Sorry.
back.
Oh man.
Beep. I can
Yeah,
replay.
something's going
Oh,
wrong from her
gosh.
end.
Yeah, try to go out and
It's a
come
beep
back again.
alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah, I think that's what
Oh,
she's
man.
gonna do. Yeah, that's what she's trying to do right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That
I hate
movie. Yeah.
internet issues. Oh yeah, I've heard about these ones, Braxton. Brazilian wandering spiders. Yep, we mentioned this before until we talked about arachnophobia. I showed like a few species of spiders that you do not want to cross paths with.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
But
Thank
there's
God
these
for
big ones that like hold their babies, and then if you step on them, all their babies come out.
yeah,
yeah,
I think so.
You know.
Nicole, to respond, Nicole sounds really excited. I guess she knows. So, Nikki, just so you know, my friend Nicole is watching. She's well aware of this movie, the Hell House series. She's like, wait, there's a 5th one, all in caps. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's another one coming
Yep.
out soon, Nicole.
yeah.
So just wait
Here
till
comes Irene.
She's coming
wait
back.
till October. Oh, she's back. All right, let's see.
Yeah, you keep
Can you
cutting
hear
out,
me?
Nick.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
You're good now.
Yep, you're good.
And the
I
thing is,
have to
we
explain
literally did.
why this happened. Um, Don's grandfather said you didn't tell him what you're supposed to tell him. I said, okay, I'll tell him. Okay.
What was it?
He says that I just wanted to say hi to you, and I hope you're doing well, and I'm watching over you. Okay. Now
Look at that, Doc.
use my microphone and don't do this
But
again. Okay.
Yeah.
Your grandfather's watching over you, Don.
he
Yeah.
always is.
Yeah.
And he got
Oh,
Yeah,
mad at
I do.
me. He turned off my mic and he got mad at me because I wouldn't tell you what I was supposed to tell you, his message. And
Yeah. It's
Oh,
okay.
annoying when they do
let's
that.
see.
Yeah, that.
Well,
Well, that's just the message.
my grandpa always. Well, yeah, my grandpa always was he always wanted to contact me all the time. Like yeah, we were the joy biggest joy in his life. You know, his grandchildren. You know, he always said that we were the biggest joy in his life. So he always took every opportunity to reach out to me. You know,
Mhm.
when he
But
was
you know
alive.
what?
So
If you want to do one
this
on one with me
so
on Messenger, I can do that too.
so if this were the case, Irene, that actually doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, I'm closing the door. Sorry, I have to close it.
It's alright.
I'm
I
closing
get
the
it.
portals. Okay. Oh God.
having a gift can be very annoying because that you're like, best way I describe it to people that are like spiritual sensitive mediums, where like, you know how you have the mosquito magnets, the mosquito lights, we're like that, and they're just like, and you're just like, no, not now, leave me alone, please.
Well, I get like that when I'm taking a bath or taking a shower. Like, this is
Yeah,
my time. Take a number.
Oh,
yeah,
so here's
exactly.
oh yes, Nicole had just said this. Check this out, guys.
What?
And Nicole, I actually know about this film. She said I actually saw a movie yesterday, not necessarily involving ghosts, but still,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll throw it in anyway. Actually saw a movie yesterday. She's also telling me this because she knows I have a fascination with this. Actually saw a movie yesterday about the tornado in Joplin, Missouri. This took place in 2011. It was insane. I think it was called The Twister. Real victims of the tornado explain what happened. You know what? I actually do. I don't know if you know about it. I actually am aware about this film, this documentary that was involved in the Joplin tornado. That just quick fact about that. For those that don't know about, that was a tornado that obviously hit back in 2011 in Joplin, Missouri, and that to this day remains the deadliest tornado in the 21st century. It killed over 163 people, and
Wow.
it was terrible. I still remember when that happened, and I'll never. I remember watching something live, and I'll never forget how terrible it was. I was just in shock because it's like you think to yourself, this isn't night. Oh, we just lost Nikki. It must have been the connection. Yeah, it was shocking for me at the time because it's like this isn't 1940, this isn't 1950. We're talking about. We're talking 2011 when this happened. So very very recent, but yeah, I got to check out that film too.
The Joplin tornado, yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was just devastating. Up,
But
Nikki's
you
back.
know,
There we go.
wouldn't that be cool to go there and just do an investigation and see how? I don't know. I like places that have tragedy because they have so many spirits that are still lingering and still want to talk. I think that'd be interesting for me. I don't know. I'm weird. Okay.
It's okay. I get it, Irene. It's all good.
John
Yeah.
Zaffis, I think actually, I think they investigated a location that was in association with the Joplin tornado. Um, a few years afterwards when he was still doing his television show. Of course, Brian J. Cano was part of it too. But the bottom line is, and going back with the others, it really just goes to show like wherever there are any types of places of tragedy, that
Hmm.
there's bound to be definitely spirit activity, and 90% of the time, a lot of these spirits are practically lost souls for the most part.
Mm. Yeah, we have a place that we investigate a lot. And one of the female spirits, she absolutely loves me. She hates men. If you're a male, she will not come near you. But if you're a female, she'll come up and she'll, like, you know how your nieces and nephew play with your ankles? She'll
Hmm.
literally do that the whole time investigating. Yeah. So
Now, Nicole had said here, that's what I was saying when I saw it, unsolved, still missing people. Wow, I never even knew that. And then the people who died from the deadly fungal disease. Oh my God, I actually almost forgot about that too. Yeah, that there were some people who were exposed to the elements and had this really bad fungal disease. So again, imagine just the amount of spirit activity. In fact, come to think of it now, when, well, Irene and Nikki, you guys will probably remember this when Jeremy and I were heading down to Kansas to that Masonic temple. We had to drive through Missouri, and we were not too far from Joplin. And I still remember just that eerie vibe I think I got, knowing we were not too far from where one of the worst tornadoes ever hit. And again, I felt like even that spiritual feeling, like then, like it was just such an unearthly feeling just knowing what happened there all those years ago. So again, it's another primary example of just regardless of any type of tragedy that occurs, again, like you see the others, like just knowing that there are so many lost souls out there that to this day they still don't know how, they still don't realize that they had died.
Mm.
yeah, Nick, as you said, that's like a place that we investigate. There's this little girl, and we don't believe that she knows she's actually passed.
Right.
And she hates men. But if you're a female, she'll come up to you and like play with your pants and stuff. And I'm like, Ava, not now, sweetie. I'm trying to investigate and like play with the equipment and stuff. But yeah, every time we're up there, she'll talk, but I don't think she knows that she was actually crossed over. So
Right. Oh, 1999 Oklahoma. Oh yeah, that was the Oklahoma City tornado. It was 3 of them touched out. Yeah, that was an incredible year when that happened.
Oh yeah.
the one that took out the.
And so, yeah, I'm afraid we're gonna have to wrap this up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
the
unfortunately,
others, if you have not seen the others, definitely see it. It's I think it's one of the best haunting movies of all time.
Yeah. It was the way they portrayed the family was so.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, you gotta see it. You're like, yeah, you gotta
yeah,
watch it.
Or
yeah,
am I
Nick.
getting movies? Or am I getting movies mixed up? Because there's Twisters, and then there's Twister, and then there's
Oh yeah,
Twisters.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little.
yeah,
yeah, but you definitely got to check out the others though. I mean, it's
yeah.
such a good
It's
movie.
one of the best. It's one of the best. It'll always remain one of the best movies ever
John,
made.
Anyway, I'm gonna go back to watching the others. I had a little break. Be back to do it, and have a good
Bye,
night. And I'll
Nikki.
see you, lovely. See you
yeah, I'll
guys. Take
talk to you
care.
again soon, Nikki. Have a good day.
You
And
too. See ya.
Don, before we end it, do you mind if I show that channel that I was telling you about so people can check it out?
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
paranormal archives that I like to call. Yeah, I just want to share the screen out so you guys can see it. So this right here, the screen should be able to show. Can you guys see that right now?
No.
Uh-uh.
It's down at the bottom.
Yeah, now I can. Hang on.
Oh, there
Oh
we go.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, you guys can see it right now.
Good for him. I'm watching those today.
Yeah,
good.
so this is the YouTube channel that I was talking about earlier. Like I said, it's just simply called They're Here. Look for obviously this picture of the shadow person and this guy, just to show example. Again, some of these shows were released around the same time when the others came out, but most recent one was 4 days ago, Crop Circles Math Mystery 1994. So he's
Ooh.
this guy, yeah, he's got so many of these old paranormal shows. Again, there are some recent ones like this one over here, but for the most part, he's got these old haunted house documentaries from the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and it's just incredible of what he's got. So again, I don't know who this guy is. I've yet to find out what his name is, but this guy is awesome. Then like going to like the oldest stuff he's uploaded, he started uploading about 2 years ago. Here, like one Operation Blackbird Day 1, 1990.
Oh, geez.
Castle, look at that from 2005.
Cool.
And then of course I was just saying a few minutes ago that you got full episodes of Scariest Places on Earth. So this guy, I mean, he did not upload these like from other YouTube channels. He has actually explained that he has taped a majority of this. Something this guy is really got a lot of VHS tapes on this. So what he's uploaded is amazing. So if you guys are looking for like the older fashioned, and here's my favorite one, haunted hotels. I was just talking about. Here's not all of them, but most of the episodes. Haunted travels. I mean, the list goes on. I think. Let me see. I was going to say if Nikki was still here, I was going to say, look at this. They even have a documentary, Most Haunted Town in Australia. Like, geez.
Wow.
They got all these shows from around the world. America's Haunted Hotels, 1997, which I remember. It's unbelievable so again, if you guys are looking for the older shows, definitely check this out. And but yeah, this is a true Paranormal Archives YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. It's amazing.
Wow.
You may have to close that off, Don.
Okay.
Because all you can see is a blank screen right now.
Wait,
Yeah.
you think you exited out? I think you exited out before I could turn that setting off.
Can you? Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back. Yeah, and
I had no idea on that one.
Can I mention something really quickly, Don? I have a new group out. I'm working on that. It's a work in progress. It's
Oh,
called Black Cauldron Mystery. It's got all my work that I've made, the stuff that I create for paranormal investigators, jewelry and stuff like that. It's all going to be sold on that group. So yeah, check it out. But I'm going to be getting more crystals that I'm going to sell and stuff
Oh,
like that. So I'll be doing that on that group.
it's blank, Nick. It's
yeah,
still blank.
guys, I just noticed it's blank on the wall. Hold on one
Why
second,
is it doing
guys.
this?
I don't know, but here, try. Hold on, we're getting it fixed. Technical issue. I'm
I
not
hate
sure
when
why
it
it's
keeps doing
Of
this.
course.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the one problem I have with EV Mux is where it's blank. Um. Oh wait, yeah, there's okay. Let's try that again.
You said
You got
blank.
okay. That's your screen share. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, picture's back. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Excellent.
So yeah, if you
Now
can check
Nicole
me
said
out
she.
on
Go
Black
on.
Cauldron Mystery, come and check me out. And if you need some crystals to keep you safe, come and check me out because I'll help you.
I definitely do.
And also,
Yeah,
I think my mom messaged you earlier
yeah,
today. Thank you,
yeah,
and thank you so much again for the gift. Seriously,
yeah. No problem. Like I get a lot of stuff. Okay, I buy a lot of stuff,
Nicole, by the
and
way,
I
who was
make a lot of stuff too. I make a lot of stuff too. So
Nicole, who's been
Nice.
watching, she said she hasn't seen the others, but she will check. Yeah, Nicole, you got to check it out. I
yeah,
think you won't be
Yes.
disappointed when you
you
see it.
Wait, were you
know
talking about the
it's
others?
one of the best ones.
No,
It's really good.
Yes.
different,
Nicole Kidman is amazing
different
in it.
Nicole, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to be it for this edition of the Fear Fans podcast. Glad you guys came out here and enjoyed. Trying to figure out what we're covering on next week because there have been some people who want us to cover Child's Play 2.
Ooh.
Well, there is one other movie that our friend Rochelle would probably want to come on. She wants us to cover Final Destination at some point. She said she'd be
Yes.
willing to come on. Hopefully, she's available that night. But she said
Yeah.
that's a request that she's got is doing Final Destination.
Yeah, because because we actually did cover Final Destination movies before. We covered it
Oh, that's
talked about
right.
the franchise overall. We
Yeah.
talked about like the franchise overall. We didn't talk about the movies individually. So we could do that, talk about each film individually. Yeah.
And also, one other thing I just want to throw out too, because with my show, I don't know if Braxton is still watching, but tomorrow Nick Files is once again making another comeback. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of the tri-state tornado of 1925 because it was a lot longer than I expected. And also, Irene, I wasn't sure if you were able to see the first part of it, but fortunately, I wanted to let you know. I was going to make the announcement on the Multiverse Network. It looks like I'm going to be doing the slideshow a second time because originally what I was hoping was on Wednesday that everybody was going to be coming in on Wednesday, but unfortunately it was just me and Samantha. But then I didn't realize that I was going to be doing the slideshow also on Thursday and Friday. So the original plan was I thought Wednesday I was going to do part 1 and then Friday. No, it was Thursday part 2. But I guess I got it all mixed up. So I'm going to have to do part 1 for everybody on Thursday again. So you do have you do have another opportunity of wanting to see the first part of part 2 of the slideshow for the tri-state tornado, and it's an incredible story, but it's definitely very sad too. So, but Braxton, I know who was watching. I know you said you were going to watch it last week. I know you weren't able to, but if you do have a second opportunity of checking it out live tomorrow afternoon, or Thursday in this case. But yeah, that's all I got to say is hopefully I'm gonna wrap up with this slideshow on this deadly tornado.
Nick, one thing I have to tell you, Mount Fuji is blowing its top again, so it's
I've
alive.
heard, I've heard about that. I'm thinking to myself, wow, like Mount Fuji's, because I remember last time Mount Fuji really blew up was back in 1707 to 1708. So over 200, over almost over 250 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Like I live on the Pacific side, so I'm cool.
I was gonna say, we'll definitely be safe out there. Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll be
definitely,
fine.
for
Don't
sure.
worry. Nothing's
Okay,
gonna
that's
stop
good.
me here.